Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We are on day 4 of free week, so hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Hope you guys are learning a lot. Free week is in a pretty crazy pivotal time where do we rotate? Do we not? Looks to me like the candle that we were looking to break down has broken, and we did get a relatively decent close. Again, is this going to be the big pullback and now we head right to recession? I don't see that yet. I think a little bit of a pullback could make sense and is probably needed for a healthy run as well. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We do have a little gap down today, but you know, as much as the market might not be dependable for bulls and bears, what is dependable is we got you guys each and every day waking up to even just get a little bit better every day, learn something new every day, grow a little bit, and really set yourself up well for the future. We got Adam in the house. Good morning to you, AK Alan. We got Albert. Good morning to Alex, Amy, Anna B, Bill. We got Brooke in the house. Daniel. Good morning to DC. Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, you probably got to give some heart medicine to some of the bulls today. Maybe just a little bit. Ernesto, we got Ivo in the house. Good morning to Jason, Joe, Joel, Lee, and JT. Good morning, Julie. Kelsey, good morning. We got Kyle, Lauren, Lucian, Martina, Matthew, Michael, Mike B. Good morning to Nancy Jones. We got Nelson in the house. Nick, good morning. Pam, Peter, Raul, Rich. We got Sean Bell, Ron, good morning. Rick, GJ, Shane, Simon, Stacy, Stan, Sylvan. Whew, the list goes on. Sebastian, good morning to you. We got Warren Wynn, everybody out there in YouTube land. Good morning to you as well. Man. We got Adam throwing in some tickers already. He wants to take a look at Run, Etsy, Wayfair, Fastly, Bud. We got some nice gaps. Lauren wants to take a look at LUV, Fiverr. All right, let's get to it. So like I said, a little bit of a gap down again today. I believe the number is 73% of the companies that have reported already have actually beat on earnings, and we are pulling back. So again, it's a little bit of a sign that I think it's sell the rip, not buy the dip on some of these opportunities. There's definitely some still good quality companies out there, but we'll see how far this thing wants to fall. If you guys got puts, they're probably looking decent this morning as well. And in a bigger picture, I see somewhere in this zone that's just under 445 to, we'll call it 440. Somewhere around there, I think we could get the pullback. I've had this number on my screen forever, 438.91. That was a spot I was looking for, maybe some kind of original bounce, drop, correction. That hasn't happened. If we're looking in terms of risk reward, I mean, even down at this 438, that would not even be a 50% pullback, right? So I think 431 could be in the cards, potentially. So again, all of this is okay in the market because you could make money to the downside. So the toughest part of trading is when you're getting that change from bulls to bears, because you don't know how strong the bull's going to be. You don't know until they tell you. So I think this is telling me we should probably be cautious to the bullish side. Maybe look more bearish. However, this is a retest gap at open. So far, yes, right now we are at a little bit of support. So I think maybe we get some kind of a bounce at open and then look to fade. So do I want to go bullish at open? Probably not unless I get in trouble. Probably unless I'm looking to get in trouble. But I'll see what else is out there. And otherwise, maybe we could be a little bit patient at open and then see if we can get some kind of rollover potentially. So that's what I'll be looking for at the market open. Let's see if there's any activity in the Qs. So the Qs is also a gap down. Looks very similar to the SPY. We've already now confirmed that we have lower highs and we're starting to put in lower lows. So again, a little bit of a retest gap, slightly under their support. So that's a little interesting. Maybe we get a little further drop or very, very small retracement, if anything. So I don't even know if this gap is going to fill. I think we get maybe a little bit of a pop and then Probably look to find positions to go short and continue to hammer everything short for right now. Lori says, good morning, everyone. I hope the recordings are up from yesterday. I had to be away. I believe they are in. I think Tracy is the one who grabs the recordings and then uploads them into the dashboards. I believe they all should be in your dashboard. Could anybody confirm if the recordings are in the dashboards? Because I just don't know, but they should be, or they will be soon. All right, let me go back to Adam. He's had a few stocks he wants to take a quick look at. So we got Run. They had earnings come out. We beat to the higher side by 49 cents earnings per share. They lost 37 million on the downside. So surprise to the downside. Here you got one that is popping up on a half 50-50. Beat earnings per shares, missed on revenue, Sunrun. Again, I think this market, and that is a gap and go. Here is the volume on this candle, which we're not breaking yet. The next biggest volume candle comes all the way up here where we had some kind of little reversal. Right now, it did get down into a little bit of support. Again, I would just be a little cautious on the bull side. I think if you're going to take this one, your best bet might be something right at open, a pre-market break, move your stops very quickly. And if it's going to run, I don't know how much this is going to run. I do think we're in a little bit of a market where any little bit of profit, I think people want to lock in this type of market. Is there something on my screen? Oh, it's like a little dot or something. I was like, what is it? I thought it was a fly or something on my screen. I guess I put some kind of marking there. All right. The only thing I would say with this one, though, where it could be a little bit different, and out of everything out there, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily look bullish because it is. I wouldn't look bearish because it is bullish, but on the bullish side, I think it's going to be a little tough too, just because I think we are trying to sell some of the rips. This one does look a whole heck of a lot different than probably every other stock that we'll look at. At least this is into some kind of. This one hasn't had that crazy run. You are at a longer term support. So there's some reasons where somebody might be interested to buy this thing. Again, I just don't know how far it will run with the market that we have today. So I almost either want to wait for this thing to come back and then try it lower. But yeah, if the market was bullish, if the market was looking like we were still running bullish, this would be an easy bull buy. I would be terrified. Not terrified, but I'd be a little uneasy at least to buy run bullish today with a little bit of gap up, and earnings were just okay. But you do have a longer term support down there. So that'd be the one thing, and it doesn't look like it just had a huge run up. All right, we got Etsy. So this one's gapping down. Should be a retest gap, but again, I would be looking for seeing if this thing could come lower if I'm going to buy anything. In this type of market, I feel like I want to buy everything as low as humanly possible. That would take me to about 83.30. Not sure if that gets there today. We do have a support. This is technically a retest gap. You should have some room to the upside, but that's if you're daring to play bullish. 91.17. Otherwise, you can't really short this thing. It is down a lot, and you are going to hit some heavy support. Again, the max I think we probably run into, unless this market goes crazy, is 83.47. And I think that's a stretch for today as well after that amount of gap. So I'm kind of in the do nothing zone so far. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but I would be just be very cautious. Probably not take it out of the gate and see if there's a legit setup somewhere that would make sense. Wayfair continues to just rally. Wayfair, some of these names, I mean, some of these names, they do have some room to go. There's not a lot. We're definitely in the area. We got one more spot that could be 83.48. After 83.48, this thing is gone. This thing is back into the hundreds. So we've been watching this one for a while. think we have had a couple trades on this one, but it is a gap and go after a strong run up. I would look for. I wouldn't. Again, I wouldn't try to short this thing, but I feel like this one has to pull back a little as well, especially if the market in general is going to enter the sell the rip. This might be looking for a fade, but anything past that $84 range, so there's still a little bit of room to the upside. Stalls out at 82, 83, 84, somewhere there. And then I think this one would have to pull back a little bit. Otherwise, this one is just straight gone, and we do end up getting a pretty crazy rally on Wayfair. Vastly. These are all some decent short floats too. Wayfair. I mean, Fastly. Nice little gap up. Some of these little names are still trying. Still trying. Some of the big dogs are getting clapped, but the Fastlies came out, beat on both earnings per share, 6 cents to the upside, beat by 3.5 mil on the revenue side of things. So decent report. Definitely not at all-time highs. I don't know if we get back to, I don't know if we get back up to, where were we? 120 or something. We hit 135. Quite the drop this thing has had. Quite the drop. I feel like at this point, anybody that is bag holding is numb to the pain. So I don't think any gap up, they're going to get shaken out. And if you've just bought recently, you have 135 in your head, and you're probably not going to get out. It's got a little more resistance up here, so I think to the bull case of things, 1878. This is tough because all these so far have a little bit more bullish feel to them. They're all gap and goes to the bullish, but the entire market is kind of coming down a little bit. So any of these, yeah, on an individual stock that could look decent, but then you're going to go against. You're going to be going against the overall market. Immediate target 1803. If that one breaks, the next target is probably about 1928. So it's got some room. It's got a little struggle bus. See if that one actually comes down for a retest before buying if you do choose to go long on it. And Bud reports. Let's see where they came in. Do we have any? There it is. Took a while. What is this? Why is earnings and revenue in gray? I've never seen that before. That's odd. Okay. So Anheuser-Busch, they are gapping up. This should be technically a retest gap. We are into some moving averages as well. If this thing could break the level we're at now, which is roughly 57.52, I think to a bullish case 58.18, but again, it is a retest gap technically. You're going to start hitting a little bit of maybe support 57.23 and down to 56. This one I think will be a little bit of a slow mover, so we'll have to see on this, but technically that would be a retest gap. You are clearing at least one day of decent volume, haven't quite made it past the next. Risk to reward wise, if this thing comes up a little bit, this is probably how I would look to play it. The higher this thing comes up, your stop is going to be somewhere around 58.28, 58.22. That's probably where your stop is going to be. If you start breaking out of this candle with that volume, most likely it's rebounding and you're looking to go long. So the higher you could get on this candle, which I don't know where that would be, maybe around 57.70, and then you have about a 52-cent stop, something like that. But again, is Bud gonna move like crazy? Probably not. I don't think. All right, LUV. I'm behind on the chat pane too, by the way. LUV. Trading View every day this week has just been so slow. So slow to give me those pre-markets. There it is. All right, so gap down here. That's breaking a nice little level. This one is trending downwards. That could be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe this is wave 5. But let's see. A little tiny bit of support right here. Otherwise, I think next target takes us to 31.37. We got a nice little support in here too. See if this one bounces first. Maybe just at this little support. And then I think short is the direction. You have some decent looking shorts. Momentum looks everything downwards. Let's draw a fib on this one because we do look like we're at the 50 or the 618. Fib. Somewhere in here. We're right below the 618. All right, so see if we get a bounce now into this 32.58 zone. 32.56. That should be your retest into the 618. And then in a longer term picture, you're probably looking for more of 100% retracement, but I would say at least the next level down would be 30.69. So, all right, let's scoot this one up higher on the list. Let's see, even though it is a gap and go, I'm going to see if we get a little bounce in LUV, and then I'm going to look for more continuation, especially if it can't break that 32.56 zone. So we'll see. We'll get that up there. FVRR. Fiverr. Let's take a look at cars. So we got Fiverr with a little bit of a gap up. Again, some of these small names, they're doing something different than the market. It's very interesting. And then the question is any of these gaps enough to continue when most of the market is really essentially selling the rips? Is this a rip? And all of these other ones too, you're not at all-time highs, which is interesting. On a day like today, this is making it, that would make these very difficult for me to play. But this is a, I hate going against the actual trend in the market for right now. And again, we could see a little bit of this work in the morning, but I would have to take profits relatively quickly. I'm probably going to be out at 1.2 if I take these things bullish, because the market itself is technically a little bit of a retest gap. So if we do retest and then you have some of these small names, I don't think it's a big move on the SPY. I'm not sure, but you got to watch out for like $30.92 and 31.10. But yeah, some of these smaller names, they might be a decent play because they are gap and goes. They look good. I got to add this one to the list, and I might have to take this one if the market does want to give me any type of a bounce. These smaller names, it would be the one early, but I'm going to be quick on the bullish side of things. Let's get all these up here. Maybe I have way too many stocks on my list. I think maybe that's slowing down. TradingView. Come on, guy. Go right here. There it is. All right. IWM. IWM is I would imagine that these guys are actually gapping up a little bit, but let's see. No, gapping down. That's another one. Inside day from yesterday. I thought with all these little small gap ups that this thing would actually be more positive. You're at a little bit of support if that thing breaks. The next level down is 193.87. Past that, you're looking for about 193.49. And then if that breaks, you start to get the bigger moves. That's where 191.38 comes in. And I don't think we hit this today, but 188.89. So you have some other key levels that you could break through, but right now we're still holding the base of this last little consolidation. We're still inside day, so IWM might get a little tricky to trade. Let me see. Win has the YouTube playlist, so there's a link for any of the recordings. They're on YouTube, RLC's YouTube channel. Beautiful. All right, potential gap and fade if it doesn't really go. PayPal's getting hammered. Yep, so we definitely want to take a look at PayPal. And I think, did I skip Ron? I think I did. Was it Car? All right, so we got PayPal. Yep. So these guys again, they beat on earnings, both on revenue, both on uh earnings per share. I do have an order out there for market buy at open. So I rode this thing from somewhere in the 62, 63. I sold it, I think a little early, $73, $74 range, somewhere in here. And I'm looking just to buy back those shares at open. I'm also looking on this one at open to sell a put because in a long-term basis, I do like PayPal. We've done a few sessions on this one. I'm going to be throwing in an order for probably about a $60 put sale, $60 strike, and I'll probably take it to, I guess, like September, mid-September, whatever the monthly September is. So I am actively looking to buy PayPal. So full disclosure. And I do already have the order in the broker to buy this one. So this one should be a retest gap. Let me see if again, the earnings were good. It was their forecast that was a little bit I think they had a loss in users, I believe, in accounts. So the market's not going to like that one. They are without a CEO right now, and I think as soon as you get a word of, hey, here's who the CEO is, I think you will get some kind of pop on it. But I will be buying this thing down, dollar cost averaging, and I do like it for the long term as well. Really anywhere under 65. The only reason I have the order out there now is just because I technically already bought it here. I locked some profits in, and I'm just kind of getting back into the position. So I do have the market order, and then if this thing drops lower, like I said, if I get shares at 60, fine, I'm good with that, and then I'll sell some puts lower as well. But I do want this one to come down as low as possible because I want to buy good companies at really good pricing. PayPal. So again, this one is a pretty massive gap down. I think any of those bulls on that run up at least are trapped. This is technically a gap and go. We are in between the 50 and the 618. Let's see if this one comes down a little bit. Maybe we could get to that 65, 60 if we have not already done that pre-market. But that'd be the 618 bounce. Otherwise, somewhere in between 67, 66 and 65, 60, I think we will be looking to have some type of buyers step in. And I would be one of them for me personally. So on a day trade basis, I'd probably be looking bullish as well. See if we can play that fade. It is a pretty large gap on it. But let me put PayPal higher on the list for now as well. If they let me. There it is. Ron, I think, wants to look at car. That Avis budget group. Let's see where they're coming in at this morning. Sun, big short float. Avis gap down, still in this big massive candle. Kind of looked almost like exhaustion volume for the sell side of things, even though it's not that big of a sell. So that was a retest, just overdid the retest completely. Until you get outside of this candle, I would be very cautious one way or the other. I think if you don't like this company and you want to short Avis, if you could get any type of rally into 220, 26, that's our spot. Even today for day trade, that's where I'd be looking to go probably bearish on it. Keep in mind, sentiment at open at least was bearish, and then this thing just went crazy. So there's a little bit of a weird candle on it. You definitely have some levels down further. The next stop really under 200, so 199.98, and then probably start getting into 196, 196.60. But again, it is a gap and go from yesterday, but you're still inside that just bizarre candle. So be careful on that one. Sun has a big short float. Sunoco has a short float. Really? Actually surprised on that one. Let's see where the gap is, if we have one. I don't see any pre-market numbers on this unless it's just some massive gap somewhere. Doesn't really look like this one's doing anything crazy. Either that or I'm just absolutely missing something on this. But yeah. I don't have much to work off of in this one. Maybe on a swing trade basis, you got to be careful. You are at some kind of decent pivot. It's going to hold you back a little bit. I don't see where even if it does have a big short float run, I would just be careful. I don't see any reason why shorts would be scared today. Runs gaps right into the 10 EMA. If it doesn't rally, likely to fade. Yeah. W gapping above a year worth of price, but into resistance. Small resistance on, yeah, I agree. Small resistance on Wayfair, but there is a little bit there. So see if it pulls back first. Run as big short float 2, cars, bear gap, and go. But I'm concerned about some of the small names. I mean, some of them look good. Bud potential hit resistance 59.11ish and then roll over. Yep. I agree. As long as you have your stop above that previous red candle, and I apologize, I'm just catching up on all these chats. Dash for trash. Good morning to Hector. Who let the bears out? Who let their bears out? Upwork looks better than Fiverr. Where's oh, there's the pre-market. I was starting to think my pre-market thing of where it tells me where the price is gone. So yeah, there's a nice little gap up. You still have this resistance up here though. You had a little bit of a bullish run into it. Any of these bears might be trapped, but they had time to get out as well. I think Upwork could be shortable here. Let's see what their earnings were. They beat by 10 cents. So they were supposed to lose. And they actually had a 10-cent surprise gain to the upside. So that's not bad. And then revenue basis, they beat by $6 million. So, okay. Decent. The one thing I would be concerned is you do have a huge heck of a lot of congestion up here a little bit. I have to put this on the list. I don't know if I want to play this one bullish or bearish because it is a massive, absolutely massive gap on the bullish side. I think I might want to play this as a fade, but that's scary as well. So we'll see. I'm going to get it on the list. We'll watch some of these small names that open. I would say pull back probably somewhere into the 1150 zone to the downside. I'm wondering if any of those bulls really want to take profits. Do they love this company or they're like, just buy low? Ivo says you should use the TradingView desktop app. You're probably not wrong, but I hop around from place to place. So for me, I just use the web. I like it. And it's only been this week where it kind of loads a little slower. I don't know if I have just too many indicators in there or what, but Zillow Group, let's see where their pre-market comes in, but they had earnings as well. So they had surprise beat, nice beat, 20 cents to the upside, and then 33 million surprise beat. And they're gapping down. See, this is what I'm seeing more. A lot of those smaller companies I'm looking at, like they've been absolutely crushed. I guess this one's had a decent run up already. Zillow, I kind of like for the fade down lower. If you can't hold those candles with those type of earnings, you're probably looking to come down. I'm going to see if I can play this one bearish. That would be a decent bear play. Some room to run as well. There is the morning opening bell. So as soon as I get Zillow up here somewhere, let's see if it lets me. There it is. It's giving me a green candle at open. Everybody out there in YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. Make sure you can just hop on over to reallifetrading.com, click the banner. We do have free week still continuing. You guys, it's not too late, and you get to hang out, trade with us. Otherwise, you guys are incredible.